What's up, everyone? We're having some technical difficulties here. Brittany, you're muted.
I hear you. Hold on. There we go.
Whew. You
It
good?
has been. Okay. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I got you. I got you. What's up, everyone? Sorry, we're a few minutes late. We man, I don't know if it's bad internet connection or what's going on, but kicked out. In fact, we were training today. A couple of our salespeople are on here. Kelly Foster, Rob Goodwin are on the call. We've been having Zoom issues all day. So we'll wait just a couple minutes. Time is it 5 after? Let's wait like 2 minutes. We'll let a few more people come in, but I want to see, I'm curious who all is joining us today.
And also, I wanted to let everybody know. So I'm Brittany Lane. I'm your co-host, and I'm the general manager of the Results Ranch. And I also oversee the 700 Business Solutions program. If you have any questions throughout the Zoom, please write it out in the chat. And then at the end, we will go ahead and go through those and answer them.
All right, well, let's get started. How's your day been, Brittany? I'm not sure if I told you this yet, but you know, Nick, who got the $3.1 million for the marina, got like a $50,000, $35,000, another $35,000 credit card today. So
Did he really?
Yeah, he's doing so good, y'all. We've got what we're talking about. We have a customer who signed up with our business credit. It's been, I don't know, maybe 8 months ago. Anyway, he built his business credit, and the first really cool card he got was a $20,000 Bank of America card. Then he got an unlimited Amex, but long story short, he got approved for $3.1 million to buy a marina solely in the name of his business. We have another guy who just recently got approved for like $6.5 million to purchase a solar company. He's in the solar business. And he wanted to like fast track his growth, whatever. He bought another company. So, and we've got a lot of people that are a lot of business owners that are having great success because it's once you figure it out, it's really not that difficult. So anyway, all right, cool, Brittany, let's get going then.
That's amazing. Just gotta say.
Yeah, no, it really is. It really is. And you know, I'm a great example because for me, like I'm my personal story right now or deal right now, like I own a home. I've bought some land. I'm building another home. I've got a business and like a lot of stuff going. And at a certain point, you know, like a personal banker is going to say like, hey man, like, you know, hold on just a minute. We're good for a minute, you know, but when you're talking about a social security number. And furthermore, whenever I do get my house built, I'm going to have to budget for that house. And, you know, I mean, I'm self-employed and pay taxes and all that stuff, but I certainly don't want to have to like show that I make zillions of dollars or something like that. So for me, it's been amazing because it's like another individual. It's basically that entity is a person. I mean, you're building, when you build business credit, the borrowing power just triples. You know, I always say I know a lot of my friends are on here. I always say that an 800 credit score has more borrowing power than $1 million, and it does. An 80 paydex score in business credit has more borrowing power than probably about $10 million. I mean, it's phenomenal. And the other cool thing about business credit lending and lenders, like they look at bigger numbers. They want more zeros. $1,000 credit cards do not interest them. I mean, you know, you're talking 10,000, 50,000. I mean, it's much larger numbers without all of the budgeting and stuff. Also, you know, on a consumer, I mean, most lenders they're obviously buy a house, they're going to want to see tax returns and all that stuff. Even card places and stuff are wanting to, you know, they're going to want to see, especially if you've got a lot of open credit, they're going to want to see proof of income and all that stuff. And I just bought my truck, $80,000 truck. I bought it in the name of the company. solely in the name of the company. And I mean, we turned in an application, a guy named Eric Dews, who I bought it from, he turned an application, I'm having approval in 15 minutes, no stipulations, no income steps, no nothing. I mean, solely in the name of 700. So, I mean, which is cool because my truck payment's like $1,000 a month, which could create a budget issue on top of my house and my land and my this and my that and stuff. So, I mean, it's enabled me to do other things that we want to do and we are doing. I've actually also, I leased my building where I'm at, my Results Ranch, and I'm going to build a new one. We're going to build our own, along with some office suites and some other stuff like that. And so we recently just got approved, gosh, I think the approval was like $4.5 million. So like, now I just got to find the dirt to do it and figure out who's going to build it and stuff, which is going to be a process. But I mean, it's strictly in the name of Billy. Like if I was to try to go do that, man, when I go try to build my house or close on my house, I'm going to be out of budget and stuff. So that's been the real blessing for us, is the fast track and the growth or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Plus, we've got a lot of guys who. We've got some Airbnb people who've signed up with us. We've got some Turo people, you know, that want to truly build and scale a business by renting cars. Well, you go out and once you purchase stock, how much money you make or who you are, once you purchase a certain amount of cars, like they're going to stop. As opposed to a business, if 700 Services wants to go out and buy 10 cars or 20 cars and we're going to throw them out, like the budgeting and all that is way different. And that's what we're going to go over this afternoon. So anyway, let's get rolling, Britt.
Okay. So what we'll cover today is how to beat the banks and become fundable, how anyone can get business credit for your EIN not linked to your social security number, how to get high limit revolving corporate cards, how to get business credit with no personal guarantee, how to access loans and credit lines when banks say no, and how to get money as a startup, nonprofit, or just to grow and expand.
So I kind of threw a little bit of the benefits that, as far as for me personally, but you know, some other benefits of building business credit is the fast initial establishment of credit and what you can build and how you can do it. On consumer credit, on personal credit, there are 5 different factors involved in age and in length on the bureau, and the average age of your accounts is one of them. On business credit, that's not the fact, that's not the case. Business credit is based on one thing and one thing only. The only factor is, has the business paid the bill or not? They don't look at utilization. They don't look at balances. They don't look at the date of accounts and so on and so forth. Now, a business lender may say you have to be in business for 2 years and have an 80 Paydex score, right, to qualify. But what they're not going to say is you have to have an 80 Paydex score with an account that's 5 years old, or that 80 Paydex score is not being created based on any type of age or anything else. The bottom line is it's based off of, like I said, has the company paid their bill, and have they paid their bill or bills, that bill on time? It's that simple. So again, you know, like whenever I started building my credit or our kids' credit or whatever, you know, you got to go start with a couple of, you know, $500 cards, let them age, whatever. If you don't have somebody to put you on as an authorized user, you know, so that process before you go out and buy an $80,000 truck, like they're going to want to see on consumer credit, they're going to want to see that you have a $5,000 or $10,000 credit card. They may want to see that you know, they may want to see some card history. In fact, one of my buddies, Chris Smith's in the car business, like he can tell, he knows more about this than I do, but on business credit, again, like none of that comes into play. It's bottom line, if they paid me or not. Or consumer credit, and we've all probably been through this. It's like oh, you're maxed out here, you're out of budget here, or you already have too many this, or it's not aged enough or whatever. Business credit's not like that at all. That's the beauty of it is you can go open up a Crystal, your book, I don't know how long your bookkeeping service or bookkeeping company's been open, but like, I mean, whether it's 10 years or 10 months or whatever, you start building business credit and it's irrelevant really. So that's the beauty of it. So what we're going to cover, we're going to go over the 3 steps of what you need to do to build, create, and successfully, start building your business credit. So if you're going to take notes right now, it's time to do it. Step 1, the very first thing, like we have 3 phases, 3 steps. Okay. So step 1, you want to make sure that your business is as credible and as fundable as it can possibly be. And so what you need to think about is like, a company like Coca-Cola or PepsiCo or whatever, or Walmart, right? So when you're setting up your business for credibility, fundability, the 10 steps, the 10 main factors are as follows. The type of entity you have. So let's talk about that real quick. There are sole proprietors, there are sole proprietorship, an LLC, an S Corp. And so the big no-no is sole proprietors. A Walmart or PepsiCo or Coca-Cola, like it's an S Corp or an LLC, right? So the type of entity you have is like first and foremost. You can get, as a sole proprietor, you can get business credit, but you're not going to get the kind of business credit that you can get otherwise. So rule number 1 is be set up as an LLC or an S Corp. The type of phone number that you use. Is your phone number listed with 911?
411.
411. I do that every single time. Is your business, but 911 too, really. Is it listed with 411? I don't know, and I'm from the old days where we used to call whatever, right? But like businesses are listed with 411. They're listed, you can call information and get their phone number. So all viable businesses are set up like that. So the type of entity you have, the type of phone number that you use, and not only is it if it's listed in 411 or 911, but like the type of number that you use. Cell phones are a big no-no. And like how do you get around, how do you fix that problem? A Google number or a service like that. So you're not calling Walmart to ask if they're out of dog food on somebody's cell phone. You're just not, so it's really just all common sense. So, you can't have a sole proprietorship and not have your phone number listed with 411 or anyone, and it be a cell phone, and any business credit lender think that you're going to, I don't know, landline, like the credibility factor in just that alone can kind of tell you what you're dealing with. Seriously, the type of address that you use for your business. PO boxes are no, because if I loan you, really, I can't come get my truck if you don't pay for it at a PO box, like plain, or like the PO boxes are no. Home addresses are a big no. Same thing, because like it becomes more personal, consumer, whatever, not business related as far as their assets and where things are at. So if you live in an apartment or a whatever house, whatever, and if you run your business out of your house, you can certainly do that, but you would need to get an address. What are they called, Brittany? I want to say Google address, but there are companies that do like a business suite address. You pay like $100 a month, and literally your mail and everything gets mailed to that address, and then that company will turn around and forward it back to you or whatever. But you have a real address. I will get y'all's questions after, so keep them coming. That's cool, but we'll answer them once we get done here. And do me a favor, if you think you know the answer, just keep it to yourself, because you probably don't, or you might. So like, rather than putting bad information for others to read, we'll let Brittany and I'll go over the questions at the end. The types of licensing that you may have. I mean, Chris has got to have a dealer's license. You know what I'm saying? There's certain, like I'm my industry, I don't have to have a bunch of licenses and stuff like that. But like, you know, if you're a mortgage company, you have to have certain license. Realtors have to have their license. Car dealers have to have their dealer's license and stuff like that. So that stuff all comes into play as well, whether it's asked on an application or before they even approve or pull credit and look at your DUNS number. I mean, these companies are researching that stuff and looking and checking to see like, okay, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. We're on the phase 2 now. Let's like look at the application part or whatever. The congruency of your records, do they match? Is everything lined up and synced up? The types of references that you may have. References are a big deal. You know, if I've been renting for 8 or 10 years, I mean, that's strong as opposed to not having any kind of history at all or whatever it may be. Like a copy machine, you may have a copy company that you lease a copier from, but it doesn't necessarily report to the business credit bureaus. Those references are great references. Whether your bank account is set up properly. I mean, you can't have a personal bank account with a business. Again, like Sam Walton was never the one like writing the checks, it was Walmart. And so the bank account has to be set up properly in the name of the business. And like, and how you do that, like with Melissa and I, we're a S Corp and we're both owners, officers, or whatever of the company. But like I could put Brittany on my checking account by making her an officer of the company or whatever. So, you know, making sure that like we had to take our articles, and when you set up a business bank account, you'll show them your articles and all that stuff. So that way, like if Billy, I don't even write checks on my business account. I'm not even allowed to get in it. So the way it's set up, I mean, if I have a personal bank account, then no officers of the company can even do payroll or whatever, which means you're not really a business. So, and again, this is coming from lenders. This is their viewpoints, not mine. I'm just passing the information along to you. The way your website and email are set up, you'd be shocked at how many businesses still have a 700 credit score at gmail.com. Like that's not that's a big no-no. Having your own domain for your website and for your emails is a huge deal. It's a big deal. In fact, most business lenders, they'll even go look at your website. I'm in like a real high risk industry. So they hate credit. Everybody hates credit repair. Lenders, banks, and they frown upon it. They're not crazy about it. But I'm telling you, man, I've got like, I don't even know our company. We've got like I said, my truck, we've got some other stuff, some property, credit cards. I mean, I don't even know seriously, but we've got a ton of loans and stuff like that. And we've just used it like over the years. So I can't tell you how many times my corporate name is 700 Services Inc. And we do business credit and other things, but like they go to my website at 700creditrepair.com, and I will get phone calls all the time that, oh, you're a credit repair company or whatever, but like, yeah, I am a credit repair company. Like, just go pull my credit and you'll see. And so the credit outweighs it, but it wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that because, you know, like there are certain industries, the pawn shop industry, there's other industries that they frown upon, but I'm telling you, if a credit repair company, if we can do it, like anybody else can too. And then the numbers that you have, like your EIN number, your DUNS number, your business identification number, you obviously want to have those. If you don't have a DUNS, then we can tell you how to get one, but like you can't be a business without an EIN. So, you know, making sure that you have those types of numbers and things set up. Those are the three: EIN, DUNS, and BIN. But again, we'll roll through this again real quick. Make sure to set your business up where it's fundable. Some fundability factors include, oh, would you go back one, Britt?
Yeah, sorry.
Type of entity, type of phone number, if your phone number is listed in certain directories or not, your type of address that you use, types of licensing that you may have or need, the congruency of your records, the types of references that you have. And if you don't have any references, you don't have any references. That's not going to kill it, but I'm just saying they're very beneficial to have. Whether your bank account is set up properly or not, the way your website and email are set up, and then your certain numbers, EIN, DUNS, and BIN number. That's all step one, right? So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure you're credible. You want to make sure all that stuff's complete. Step two, get your business credit reports and know what's on your business credit reports and get your DUNS number. If Dun & Bradstreet will try to sell you a DUNS number for like $600 or $800, they're free. We have a system that we do this for our clients through, and it sets it up automatically. But really, once you get your first piece of business credit, that would create a DUNS number if you didn't already have one. So you want to make sure, even if you're fundable, once you're fundable, once we have all of our fundability and credibility things in place and in play, most loan applications get denied because of potential fraud concerns, not because you don't qualify. So you need to know what's on your credit report. You want to know what's being reported about you, whether like the address is the same or not, and other things that are like on a report. Even if you have no credit, still is the address correct? Is it matching up with what you're saying? So you don't want to get denied over something silly like that, an old address or something like that. The three major business credit reporting associations, again, business, are D&B or Dun & Bradstreet, and they're like the biggest. They're like their Paydex score is like a FICO score. Everybody uses the majority. I say, but the majority of business lenders use a D&B Paydex score, Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score. Mine happens to be 80. That's the magic number. That's like an 800. That's like probably a 750, 800 credit score. So D&B, like FICO, they have like your consumer credit score. FICO has a set of their algorithm or whatever, but then there's also like a Vantage score and other scoring models out there, right? So D&B is like the FICO. They're like the big one. Equifax Business and Experian Business, they're not far behind, but they have a different scoring system, a different scoring model. So some lenders will use Equifax, some will use Experian, some pull all three. It's really no different than consumer credit, but D&B is like the most popular, the biggest one. You'll hear people refer to the Paydex score. Probably 85, 90% of business lenders out there use a Paydex score. But again, then they may still pull Equifax and Experian, looking for other bad marks, like making sure nothing negative is against you. So not only are they looking at credit to make sure that you have like that 80 Paydex or whatever, but then like they'll look at other ones and maybe LexisNexis or Check Systems or whatever, just to see like what else, is there anything else negative out there? So if your business has like let's take Check Systems. If you had some hot checks or bad checks, I say hot checks, bad checks, or if you can write them anymore, I mean, that would be a problem. You'd want to clear that up because they even though you have an 80 Paydex score, you may have something on LexisNexis like a public record against your business or something, or a lien against it, or the Small Business Financial Exchange may be reporting some Check Systems, whatever. So you really want to get all three of your three major credit reporting or credit reports rather, and make sure you know what's on there, address is correct, your number, everything's perfect, everything's set up just right. So, and again, that's not that difficult. It's just like knowing that, get it, log in, look at it, make sure there's nothing off. And if there is, then you would obviously want to like, fix that address if it's incorrect or whatever. And like for us, when we moved from, we used to be in Mesquite. When I moved from Mesquite out here to Rockwall, we had to go in, change our, do an address update and like all that stuff. That way there's there were no questions asked. Like, I don't want to, you shouldn't have to answer and explain anything to a bank or lender. They like, it should be like laid out for them. You look as perfect as you possibly can. So knowing what's on your business credit reports will shortcut that for you. All right, Britt, next. So recap real quick. Step one, fundability, credibility, get fundable, get set up properly, make sure you got your phone numbers and website and all that stuff correct, right? Next, get your business credit reports, make sure you know what's reporting on your business credit reports. And now once all that stuff is done, now you have no business credit, right? So now it's time to start building business credit. And how we do it is, so think of a pyramid and think of stacking things, right? And then think of you coming out of high school or college. Like if you don't have a parent that's going to put you on as an authorized user or whatever on their credit card, you usually would go to start building credit and get like a secured card, or maybe like a little $300 credit card, or maybe like a Macy's card, or, you know, a store card, Fingerhut card, whatever. You'd start with those, and then next you would get some Visas and whatever. Then next you get you a car, then next you get you a house, right? So you got to walk before you run. And through consumer credit, the age and the amounts and all that stuff play into like everything, right? Again, not in business credit. So phase one, tier one, we want a baseline of good accounts. Vendor accounts are net 30 accounts, and they are accounts that pretty much any business can get. Whenever I first opened up our company, we don't anymore, but we used to go through like boxes of paper, man. We're paperless now, but man, we used to, except for our letters that we mail, but we used to just go through paper. We pulled everybody's credit report, and like they would be that thick, and it was just crazy. So the very first account that we ever even applied for was Quill Office Supplies. Quill's a great company, great account. So there's Quill, there's the company Uline, and I'm going to show y'all. I'm actually logging into my system. I'm going to show you all these different accounts. So you need to start out with at least 3, and remember, more is better, right? So in this case, it is. So you need like 3 to 5 vendor accounts. Some vendor accounts are accounts like Quill, Office Supply, like I said, Uline, and there's thousands of them in the United States, right? But only probably about 50 to 60 report to the business, to report to all 3 business credit bureaus. Like Quill, they report to the business credit bureaus. Uline, they report. So you want to start establishing those accounts because the requirements for them obviously are much easier. To open a Quill account, I mean, you just really got to be able to breathe. Like you got to be alive, you know. So like they'll give anybody one, and it's a net 30 account. You set up your account, you order a ring paper or whatever you're getting. The bill comes in and you pay it immediately. And the way business credit works, if you pay it before the 30 days, then it's an 80. And then once it starts getting like a week over, 2 weeks over, 3 weeks over, then you start dropping 70, 60, 50, 40. So if you're a 70, you're paying your bills a week, not 30 days late. You're paying them a week late. They were due on the 1st, and you're paying them on the 7th or whatever. So they're like 5, 6, 7 days late. That's a 70. Nobody wants to do business or play ball with a 70. They just don't. 80 is the number. So once we build our first level, then our next level or our next tier is tier 2. You'll start adding store type credit accounts. Okay. And so like store type credit accounts are accounts like Home Depot, Lowe's, who else, Britt? Tractor Supply. I'm missing some, I know, but there's tons of Macy's. There's tons of them like that. So like Tractor Supply, they're to get approved, and I'll show you exactly what it is. Like they may require like, I don't, 6 months in business and 4 trade lines or 3 trade lines or something like that. So, but the trade lines that we opened, our vendor accounts that we opened, they didn't have any requirements. so once Home Depot or Lowe's or Tractor Supply or any of these, if that's what their steps are, if that's what they want to see, the age doesn't matter, the balance doesn't matter, that account, all they want to know is, like for my truck, when I've got approved on my truck, what GM requires are, they require an 80, they require I don't even think it's 2 years in business. I don't think it's even in business at all. They require an 80 Paydex score and I think 6 accounts or maybe 9 accounts. I'll show you all in a minute. So like if you want to get a car, then we start by building our tier 1. We start by building our net 30 vendor accounts. And then from there, like you'll have 3, 4, 5 of them built. Then you get 3 to 4 store type credit accounts. Right. And then tier 3 are bank accounts, like true bank accounts, credit cards, not store type credit cards, but like Bank of America credit cards. If you get a Bank of America business card, like 10,000 is the opening deal. Like they don't Discover, all of them are like that. It's not no 1,500, 18. It's not like that. I mean, if you get a Bank of America card or you know, some of these other banks, Discover, all of them really, you're starting out like at $10,000. And that's the goal of this. The goal of this is to be able to walk into your bank at Regions Bank or Chase Bank or Bank of America or whatever, and walk in and say, hey man, I'm building a new office. I need to apply for $2 million, blah, blah, blah. Like the first thing they're going to do is look and see what your business credit score is, how many accounts you have open. You know, now for that kind of stuff, they're also going to want to see, obviously, your 1040s or whatever, all your books and P&Ls and stuff for your company. But you know, we're talking like big loans at that point. So like that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to be able to go to a car dealer and say, hey, I need to put this in my business name, and they turn it into Ford Motor Credit does business accounts, commercial accounts. Toyota Motor Credit does commercial accounts. So does GM Financial, Ally. They all do business accounts also. So once you build it, the goal is to like not have to like use just this certain company or these certain companies. The goal is you walk into a dealership and say, hey man, like I need 4 vans for my AC company because we're growing. And like Ford or any of them, they'll do a total line of credit, not even like a per car. They'll do like a $200,000 credit line, and you make payments on that and go take the money and buy what you want with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what businesses do. That's what, again, look at like Sam's Club or Walmart. Like somebody's buying those vehicles and they're not in the shareholders' names or the CEO's name or whatever. I mean, they're in Walmart's name, as they should be. So once you make your initial stack or whatever, you start your first 4 or 5 accounts. I mean, they just get like better and better and better. And the reason I say pyramid, because you don't need as many. You know, once you get up to a couple $20,000 Bank of America type credit cards in a car, man, it's on. At that point, like, start looking for property, build a business, go build a storage facility. We got another guy that just got $2.5 million to build a storage facility, and started with this. It's been less than a year, but man, he's like done everything like boom, 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 boom by the book. So super cool stuff. So and then from there, the next phase is just to kind of just keep going. And with consumer credit, I never tell my customers this. You can ask Brittany, like I would never ever tell anybody to continue applying for more credit that you can use to grow yourself. Why? Because not your business, but yourself. Why? Because it's creating an inquiry. It's creating a new account, which is upsetting your average age. You know, so again, the inquiry could hurt you, the age of account, all that stuff. But here, the more the better. You want 15, 20 accounts or whatever. Like it looks better. As you get approved, continue using that credit regularly. You know, Bank of America or whoever, if they give you a $10,000 credit card, I get asked all the time why accounts get closed. Well, they get closed because either they're paid not 30 days late, but they're paid even a day past the due date or 10 days past the due date. That's late. That's considered late. So making sure your payments and bills and stuff are timely are obviously important. But anyway, I'm beat that to death. So just you just want to continue stacking, growing, and having more accounts. Again, because 10, 15, it's not uncommon for a business to have 30 or 40 accounts in an 80 Paydex score. I mean, people buying vehicles and trucks or whatever, wraps and stuff like that. I mean, you know, it obviously takes a lot of money to cash flow a business and to grow and to do that stuff. But most businesses that are using business credit, they use it. They use a lot of it. So, and then also always, whenever you fill out an application, don't ever put your social security number. Whenever you start, like you may have to, like on a Macy's business account, like there are some companies that will, if you do a personal guarantee, then obviously it'll fast track it a little bit more. But like when I did my truck, I didn't put my social security number on nothing. They didn't pull my credit. They shouldn't even ask you for that. So like if they are, like, that's a red flag. Just make sure that you're aware of what's going on, why they're asking for it. So recap, kind of sort of, get approved regardless of your consumer credit quality. Your personal, your has nothing to do with it. Your social security has nothing to do with business credit. No personal guarantee is required. I will say this, sometimes you can do a personal guarantee. Like if maybe you had an 80 Paydex and 3 accounts, not 6 or 9, GMAC or Ally Finance may say, hell yeah, we'll do the deal. But like, I need a personal guarantee, which personal guarantees, typically, I know like GMAC or Ally, they don't go on your credit. If you don't pay it, it's going on your credit. But you know, it's not like it's affecting your budget. It's not on your credit report. They want a PG just in the event that the company fails or whatever. Like Billy and his 800 credit score will pick up the tab. And if I don't, then it's going on my credit as a repo or whatever. But typically no personal guarantees required. You can get and build credit quickly because scores are based on one thing and one thing only, and that's payment history. It separates your report of your personal, consumer, and commercial accounts, commercial liabilities. I'm gonna tell you, if I owned a AC company or a roofing company or a trucking company, there's no way I'd put anybody in my vehicle and let them like drive my roofing truck to a job and then wreck it and kill somebody to where I can be on the line personally. Like you talk about piercing the corporate veil, with business credit, man, you like all that's separate. Like if you have an AC company and one of your guys like runs over somebody on the road, I mean, I hate to say it this way, but like close it down and start another one. But they can't, because one of my employees' mistakes, like you can't come after me and take my house or whatever if I'm set up properly. So you know, I'm not on a real high like liability business. Some of y'all may be. So for me, that wasn't my big factor on business credit was the borrowing power, man. Like I got stuff going all the time, whether it's doing this, buying this, flipping that, whatever, and in the name of the company. Like my truck, I don't get the 52 cents a mile write-off like at all. I get 100% write-off. My company bought the truck, they're paying the monthly payments on it, not me. I mean, I'm not turning in like a mileage thing because I'm not paying. So 100% of my monthly payment is written off every month or however my accountant does it. It's a depreciating asset. So I'm actually, as we're writing off the payment, I'm taking depreciation on the vehicle. Whenever I go put $200 worth of diesel in it, I use my company credit card and they pay for it. The oil changes is on the company, the tires are on the company, like all the maintenance is on the company. So when I was a salesperson, not a business owner, I was able to write off my dry cleaning, write off, hell, back then it was like 25 cents a mile. So I could write off like up to 40,000 miles and get away with it, whatever. This is not the case with setting it up this way. I mean, that vehicle is owned by the company, so it's a cost of doing business, which it's on my tax returns, my P&L, my asset and sheets, my balance sheets, all that stuff. But like I said, we also get the double whammy or the double benefit of writing it off, and it's a depreciating asset, period. My old truck, my 15 is paid for, company paid for it, wrote it off down to nothing, and it's sitting out there right now with a $40,000 sticker on it for sale. And when I sell it, I'll go put it in my checking account, not the company, because like I'm not paying them back. They provided the vehicle. It's basically been written down, written off. So like now that it's paid for, like the cash is back mine. So like there's a lot of benefits, y'all. And I've got a really, really good CPA. I've got a really good accountant that like really helps me with all that stuff. But it's good stuff. So let's go back one. We got two more things on that one. Go back one more deal. So it establishes your credibility for lenders, suppliers, and credit issuers, right? And then anyone can see your business credit reports. It's public information. You can go pull mine. You can go look at mine. And with consumer credit, it's not like that. In the world of business credit, there are it's so different than consumer credit. Like there are no equal opportunity, whatever. Like none of that comes into effect. I mean, in fact, with consumer credit, CROA is who oversees our industry, and we have certain things that we have to do and blah blah blah. With business credit, it's not like that at all. You don't even have to have a contract signed. Like if you was to buy my program, I don't have to get a contract signed with you. There's no like, it's like almost like the Wild West. It's business lenders do whatever they want to do. They can turn you down for whatever they want to turn you down for. They don't have to tell you. Like I can get turned down and I never even know. They just don't call you back or tell you. They don't have to. And that's not what you want. Obviously, you don't want a bunch of inquiries but no open accounts or whatever. So and inquiries don't show on the bureaus, but there are ways that businesses can track and see like who you've applied for. So anyway, go ahead, Britt. Next. Any and all businesses can qualify for business credit. Startups. Why startups? Because you don't have to have a bunch of to get an 80, you don't have to have 5 years in the credit bureau. To get an 800 credit score, you have to have either one open account that's been open for at least 20 years, or you have to have 30 years on the bureau, and it doesn't have to be open, but you have to have one of those two things to have an 800 credit score. With business credit, not at all the case. Startups can start qualifying and start building business credit like yesterday. Nonprofits, doesn't matter. Like it's same thing. Works if you own multiple businesses. I can have, like under my 700 services, I can have a bunch of different things like going on through that, or I could have 700 services and this business and this business and this business. Like I could do, like that gives me the buying power of myself of 700. If I opened up like ABC, whatever, I mean, you could do it on multiple businesses. It's not like that EIN number stands on its own. You can get approved even when you can't get any type of loan or credit line through a regular bank in the name of the business. And just because you have like a checking account with somebody and a debit card that says 700 credit repair, that don't mean it's like a credit card. That don't mean it's on your, and people think that, but that's absolutely not the case. So if I go into Bank of America or Regions Bank or whatever with a 60 Paydex or whatever, then obviously I'm going to get turned down. If I go in there with no Paydex, that's the same difference as having a 60. You know what I'm saying? So people walk into these banks and they try to get qualified and approved, and they get shut out and they don't know why. The banker don't tell them. And if you go try to apply to Chase Banker, what he's going to do is try to get you to open a checking account and get a secured card with them. And that's not how you start building business credit. You can, but it's going to take you forever and cost you a lot of money to do that. But you don't have to do it that way. So super cool. No cash flow requirements, no collateral required, no consumer credit requirements. Collateral though is strong. If I'm asking for $20,000, or if I'm asking for $20,000 to buy a vehicle that you're going to hold the title to, obviously it's a better bet for the bank if there is collateral. But when I say no collateral required, like I don't have to go put up my truck as collateral for a credit card or something like that. So the collateral requirements are like nada. Next.
I believe this is where you were gonna go through the,
Yeah, let's run through that real quick. So y'all, I'm gonna go, because my system's so detailed, I wanna go, I'm gonna show you guys my system and run you through that real quick. So all right, Britt, can you see it?
yes.
Can you see all of it, or am I good?
Yeah, you can see all of it.
All right, cool. All right, hang on then. Let me make it where it's, I'll crop it down so it's easier.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be easier or not, but all right. So like our system, our process, I built my business credit through this. It's where we started it. Our clients would log in to they have access. They get lifetime access. So here are our steps, right? Just like we just talked about: fundability and foundation, establish your business credit reports, start building. This is what Brittany likes. This is the shopping part.
Yeah.
So let's look at the fundability and foundation part. My internet's so slow. So step one, let's say that I just went out and started my new business, whatever. I got my LLC, and even if you don't, you can get one. You can get it through the system. So step one, this is so easy. Business name, select the business name, search Secretary of State record. This is like done for you. This is point and click. View finance restricted industries. Do you have a business name yet? This is the business credibility wise, like why names are important and stuff. Like there's some videos that go over that. And again, you can go check the Secretary of State. If you're not sure, that a lot of people will buy our system before they even start their business, so that way they're ensured that they get set up properly. So you can check, again, the stuff through here. If you need to get set up as an LLC, or if you need to get an S Corp set up or whatever, you can do it right through here. Some of these companies, I'm not sure if my corporation does or not. A lot of these companies that will, like, there's a website company here that will build a website. They actually report to the business credit bureaus for what they charge you. So a lot of these companies are actually building business credit, like while you're getting your stuff straightened out or whatever they're done. So that's step one: business name, business address. Talks about the importance of business address, why it's so important and stuff. Kind of like what we just went over. Put your address in. And again, like business address, not virtual or home. What company do you lease this address from, or what? And if you don't have like the proper address, then it tells you exactly what to do down here. Resources, DaVinci virtual offices, Alliance virtual offices, Regus, which these are in our system because we've got like massive discounts with them. I mean, good discounts with them. And again, some of them report to the business credit bureaus. So like if you're leaning this way, like if you're going to get a website, get it done by somebody who's going to report it for you or whatever, and you'll get it like a double benefit out of it. So office address and all that stuff, if it's not up to par, it'll tell you what you can do. And like you can even transcribe all this stuff. That way you've got it all in writing. The system's super cool. Next step. This is all the credibility and fundability, right? Do you have a business entity? How's it set up? Choosing your structure, which structure is best. And see, like here's ours, like we're a S Corp. We actually incorporated in 13. And see, like we got clerical administrative, and I get called out on my website sometimes, but I'm not gonna go dummy one up, that's for sure. But like we're strong enough in other areas that now they don't even say anything. I used to have to explain it and talk my way through it or whatever, but because of the industry. But again, once we got to the 80 level and all that stuff, like if now they don't even care. They look at it and they see like, damn, there's X amount of accounts, blah, blah, blah. Like I want some of that money. That's exactly how they think. If you need to get an entity created or whatever, you can first off search Secretary of State records and see if like that name's available or whatever. And you know, get all your information that you need like at the click of a button. Again, my corporation's in there. You can go straight to their website. And again, going to these websites, they're like our affiliate links, for lack of a better term, but we don't get anything back. It's just it's like a buying power deal. We're just getting lower rates for our clients. And I don't even know how many people like buy this. I'm part of a group of several people that are in on this, whatever. So like the more people that are doing it, the cheaper the rates are on these add-ons or whatever. Do you have an EIN number? If so, you can like put it, you just enter your information is all you do. Like there's mine. Save and continue the next step. If you don't, then you can come down here and like go to the IRS website direct to get it, and it'll walk you through how to do it. So again, like if you don't have this stuff, then the solution's in here. Phone numbers listed with 411. The importance of being listed with the National Directory. If you have it, boom, you put it in there and then go to the next phase, whatever, go to the next step. If not, then Ring Central has some options, Vonage has some options, phone.com, and a lot of other places do too. These are just like, again, discounted rates. So I would check with these first. Next step, does your business have a website and email? Talks about like the importance of it. Again, you can transcribe all this stuff. And the cool thing for like this system, as a business owner, you could like you can delegate this out to like whoever, like, you know what I'm saying, your office manager or whatever could go and put all your information in, all your data in for you. So here's mine, boom, boom. So boom, you would continue the next step. If not though, you can go down, tell us the importance of like why that's so important. And then some resources, Web Chef, Squarespace, Google Apps, can obviously help you with that, or there's other companies too. Do you have all the required business licenses? Do you have the proper licensing that you need with the state of Texas or whatever your state is, or like whatever? So like we have a Texas Credit Services license and bond. I've got $1 million bond, and which just protects my customers. It doesn't help me at all because like I'm not trying to steal anybody's money or whatever, but like it protects my clients. It protects my customers who call us. It's a huge deal to them because like most credit repair companies aren't licensed and bonded. And plus that just stability wise for us, it's just another credibility step that makes us look better that we have that. We also have our CROA number. We're a member of CROA and all them too, but like that's the main one that we needed to show. Save and continue next step, get your required business licenses. Again, what kind of business license? Like city applications, city licenses. If I, again, go back to a car lot, like I have to have a dealer's license, my dealer number and all that stuff. So you got to make sure you have all that because they may ask for it. They may want to see it, or they'll want you to, you know, if you say you're applying for floor plan for a car dealership, you need to have a dealer's license. That's the first thing they're going to want to see. Next, business bank account, how's it set up? As far as like your business address, is it different than your bank address? I mean, all that stuff like needs to be like line up with one another. Next step. Do you have a merchant account? If not, you can get one through here. Ours is through EMS. I don't do Square or PayPal or Venmo or like I don't like buying stuff like that. It's not real credible for me. I don't trust somebody. If you don't do what you say you're going to do, I'm going to charge you back or whatever. Like I want to be able to do that. And plus, these other Square's actually a good company. I shouldn't say that. Capital Merchant's a really good one, but like PayPal, man, they're the worst, because if I buy Crystal's bookkeeping services and all of a sudden I'm not happy for whatever reason, I can have PayPal reverse the credit even if I sign a contract. And then what happens is they cut her off. Like they hate credit repair companies. Why? Because so many people use a PayPal account. Somebody PayPal's you $500 and then they never do the work. They change your phone number. Like that's just what happens in my industry. And it's all industries, but like there's crooks out there, but you know, a true merchant account like makes that as minimal as possible. Do all business records list the correct business name, address, ownership, and contact information? And that's it. So like those are the 10 fundability and foundation steps, right? So you would do that. Those are my first step, right? Step 2, establish your business credit reports. And how you do that is you go directly to Dun & Bradstreet. Like our system, you enter your DUNS number. If you don't have one, it'll get you one. Again, apply for a D&B number, D&B basic report information. Next step. I actually have like in the system, like here's credit monitoring. So I have mine set up, 700 set up with NAV. And so I can just like go in here. And like, see, there's my Paydex score. And you can go look at what all accounts you have and all that stuff. Then you've got Experian Business, Equifax, and they're all different numbers. They all like my 57.3, whatever it was, is good for Experian because it's a different, it's like a Vantage score and a FICO score. The 80 Paydex is only done at Bradstreet, so I can't go back. But anyway, so like ours is just boom right through the system, super cool. So like you can always check it, know what's on there, whatever. And like these show the different whatever, like they have an IntelliScore, they have a Paydex score. Let's go back to, so step 2, again, access your reports right through the system. Business Experian, Business Equifax, and see, does your business have a profile with the Business Experian yet? Search to see if your business has a business report. Like you need to make sure that there's nothing bad, negative on there. You may not have anything open positive, but maybe you have, who knows? Like you need to check. And then Equifax is the same way. And then there's also, this is really cool. You can also do business credit repair. There's companies that this is what they do. I'm probably going to jump on this, but like we do it now, but only for our business credit clients. But like we get calls all the time, can we help somebody fix their business credit report? And we don't do that, but it's a good business, and I'm probably fixing to add it to our mix. So how to fix your business credit. There's a video in here that explains some stuff. Here's how you dispute it, and you really don't even dispute, you request an update is what they call it. And I mean, it's not that difficult. So in the event that you have something negative, then boom, you could fix it right here. Or if something popped up that was inaccurate or negative down the road, you could address it yourself right here. Next is, so step one was our fundability and foundation. Step two is establish and get your reports and know what's on D&B, Equifax, and Experian. And then how to fix business credit, there's a section in there for that. So step three, when you start, this is really what I wanted to show y'all. So like for us, when we start, our clients start building business credit, remember, I've put in my EIN, my business name, my entity, all that stuff, right? So I'm prepared now, like I with the push of a button, I can now fill out an application and apply. I don't have to go directly somewhere. I don't have to go to, like, you know, Uline Direct. I can apply all through here. So here's this is step three, tier one. Apply for 3 trade accounts. What are trade accounts? Uline, GM, Fulton Bank, and like you can look, and these are banks, right? So like on this one, you can click and see exactly what their qualifications are. Entity in good standing with the Secretary of State, EIN number with the IRS, business address matching everywhere. That's the credibility. DMV number, business phone number listed with 411, credibility. Business license if applicable, credibility. Bank account, credibility. Must have a good Equifax credit score. A personal guarantee is required. Minimum credit score of 640. It's a hard pull. So this is a bank, and they don't even require any. They don't even require like 9 open accounts or anything, right? So like this is one of the very first accounts you could get if you're willing to sign a personal guarantee. And for me, like when I'm a mobile home dealership, when I had $2 million worth of floor plan, like signing a personal guarantee is different than signing a personal guarantee for a $10,000 credit card or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And again, these don't report to the credit bureaus, but if KeyBank doesn't get paid, that charge off would go in your personal credit bureau at that point. So I don't know if I can go back that way or not. I don't think I can. So KeyBank's one. GM, Fulton Bank, Union 76, Uline. That's not Union 76 anymore. It used to be like when I was a kid. Credible, Brex, Come and Go. That's a terrible name. Murphy USA, CEO Creative, Wex, Fleet. All these are like Advanced Auto Parts, Granger, Barnett, which is the Home Depot Pro Card, Pilot, Marathon. Like depending on where you live, some of these are more valuable than others. The reason these all say not recommended, because the system's telling me what it recommends I do or not. Like this is for building purposes only, right? So it's telling me like I don't need any more. I'm good. I don't need, like, that's why I'm saying recommended is good, because like these are great accounts, but like these not recommended, like if you look at Uline, here's what they require to qualify. Entity in good standing with the Secretary of State, EIN number, business address matching everywhere, DMV, business license, business bank account, 411, prefer business to have a good credit profile with DMV, but not required. And they don't want a bad one, is what they're saying. Business address on DMV should match everywhere with the Secretary of State and IRS records. Like that's where they get you. That's where they turn you down. Like if my tax returns are showing this address and my bank account showing this address and my application showing this, then like, I mean, that doesn't make sense. Application may be approved for net 30 at the time of order. Upon final review, credit department may change to a few prepaid orders before net 30 is granted. So when I order my $10 item from Uline, the first 2 or 3 items, I may have to like buy it like I do everything else. And then once you do that, then they give you the 30-day net. But like, if you fit this, like you'll get that account. So see, like you could start with some that don't require personal guarantees, then you don't have to mess with that. But there's just some other accounts that will shortcut the system. So mine are saying like what it recommends and what it does. It don't want me getting these little ones. You know what I'm saying? We're past that basically is my point. So I know exactly what to do. So tier 1, open 2 or 3 of those, 3 or 4 of those actually. And then again, you would want to monitor your credit report and make sure that they're on there, right? And you can get credit monitoring through here. You can go direct to DNB, Experian, or Equifax. The Lexis, your business's LexisNexis report, you can get through here. And then you can request a check systems report right there also. So once you start opening those initial accounts, you want to revisit and make sure they're actually reporting, right? So apply for 3 more trade accounts. So we're tiering up, right? We're going up the pyramid. Floor and decor, which that may not seem like a big deal. It's a huge deal to a builder who's starting out. It's a huge deal to a builder who maybe like they cash flow some out of themselves and they're not using a floor plan line. You know what I'm saying? Like a Home Depot card to a roofer is a good account. A floor and decor account to a subcontractor is a great account. Office Garner, Maverick Office Supplies, Town Bank, Lending Club, and like Lending Club, like their requirements, like they're all right here. Entity in good standing with Secretary of State, EIN number with IRS, business address matching everywhere, DMV number, business license applicable, business bank account, 1 year in business, business address on DMV should match Secretary of State records. A personal guarantee is required, does a hard pull. That's on their first account. Once you do one with them, then the next one you don't have to do a PG. And again, PGs are not on your credit unless you don't pay. And really, I guess if you're not paying it, your business you got problems anyway. So it's really irrelevant. Bank of Albuquerque, U.S. Bank, Bank of Oklahoma, and you can see PG, no PG, PG, no PG. There's no PG if you qualify, if you're stronger, if you have more accounts and stuff. And you can see like a personal guarantee is required, minimum credit score 600 does a hard pull. So if you didn't have like some of these requirements, they may ask for one, but they do PGs or not. So all the info is like right there for you to make an educated decision. Quill, United, Office Depot, you know whether you're going to get approved before you apply or not. So don't apply for ones you're not going to get approved for. Home Depot, Quick Trip, Lowe's, Valero, Staples. So as you're building and you're creating accounts, like there's good accounts that you can start out with. 7-Eleven, Northern Tool. Next is, it gets better and better. Advanced Building, Tier 3. Apply for 3 more trade accounts. First National Bank. Crown Office Supplies. You guys can read this, but like they're great accounts. Tractor Supply, BP, Shell, AT&T Business, Royal Farms, Columbia Bank, Stripe, Citgo. JetBlue, Citizens Business Bank. And when you're seeing some of these that say PG, no PG, all of these companies will do, they have no PG programs, but our system is showing like no personal guarantee, that NTB Tire, personal guarantee required, it required, it's showing because it knows that you've not built out 20 accounts or 15 accounts or whatever. So the more you build out, the less they're going to want a PG. Tier 4, apply for 3 more trade accounts. And this is where it really gets good. And like you can see, like these are good accounts. And so it's saying like we recommend because like it knows we qualify for these accounts or whatever. Banks, Sam's Club, Conoco, American Express Corporate, Dell Computers, we have this account actually. Ally Car Financing, 5-Star Processing, Ford Commercial Vehicle Financing. Like if you look at Ally, commercial line of credit, what a commercial line of credit is, that means that they're going to give you like $250,000 to go buy vehicles, or $100,000 or whatever you apply for. I got a friend of mine who owns a company called Skins Wraps, and he also does in the Southwest. He does all of the shelving for Home Depot, and he has a $250,000 line of credit with Ally because man, he's always buying trucks and trailers, and like these guys wreck them, tow them. It's just it's a nonstop. It's just and he makes a payment on that. Like I don't know what it probably pays $10,000 a month to it because he's got like a fleet of vehicles. But when he gets them, he also gets the title. And so like if he sells them or whatever, like I mean he's constantly paying that line down or making the fixed payment on it because it's like a 10-year term or whatever. But their commercial lines are super cool. It's not like I didn't do a commercial, mine's a commercial account, but I just did an individual like truck payment. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a payment on it. They've got the title. Where a commercial line of credit's not like that. It's like I'm getting $250,000 and I make a payment on that. And again, you can, the length of the term is like a much longer on business credit also. So to get a Ally, entity in good standing with the Secretary of State, EIN number, business address matching everywhere, DMV number, business license, if applicable, business bank account, bank reference. Bank reference means like you've got a bank account. Your banker has like, you know, not writes you a letter or anything, but they'll send them a VOD, a verification of deposit, and basically asking like, do they have a bunch of hot checks? Like, are they overdrawn? Like, if you're overdrawn and have hot checks, like that's a bad bank reference. Don't use it. Fleet financing references, must have a good DMV paydex score of 80 or higher. If no established business credit history, can apply with a PG, minimum credit of a 640, does a hard pull. So like right now, if you don't qualify, you can go to Ally. If you own a business, if you're a 640 and want to sign a PG and get approved, no problem. But again, the goal is to not have to have a personal guarantee. And then you can see like commercial line of credit, commercial vehicle financing. I did commercial vehicle financing, not a line of credit. Like that's what the difference is. This is like to go buy a fleet and do whatever I want with the money without putting the title up. Like now it's mine, it's my asset. Or versus like commercial vehicle financing, it's a one-off vehicle, entity in good standing, all the same stuff. If no established business credit history, can't apply with a personal guarantee. So like the qualifications are like all right here for you, and they're not difficult either. Like you just got to build up to an 80. And like all of them are pretty, like Ford's, Stips are pretty much the same thing. Entity in good standing, EIN number, business address matching everywhere, DMV number, business license, federal business bank account, 2 years in business address, and DMV should match Secretary of State. Your previous 3-year in financial statements. So they want 3 years in business, 2 years in business, 3-year in financial statements. You apply at the dealership. You can actually apply right here also, but, and you can see Ford offers commercial vehicle finance options, including loans, lines, and leases to actual business entities, not sole proprietorships. So you don't want to do that right here. You would click on that and it would populate your application and you get approved probably in 10 minutes. Like the steps on Ford are simple. Like probably a lot of people on this call would qualify for them right now. So that's another great one. Bank of America, Citizens Bank, Premier Bank, Howard Bank, Regions Bank. That's what I bank with. Well, one of my bank. I actually have a local hometown guy, but who I love. He's the mayor of our town too. So like, we got a great banker, but I also do Regions too, just because their size. First National Bank Texas, that's a great bank too. American Airlines, credit card, Byline Bank, another good bank. And you can see, like, as you're building, it's going to say what you're recommended and what you're not recommended. Like for us, it knows like we don't need minimal accounts or whatever. It's just saying like you qualify for these, so we recommend them like on the larger side. So anyway, I'm gonna stop sharing this, Brittany, and give it back to you. You can drive.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me get.
And then we can roll through some questions real quick. We've been like an hour and 20 minutes, so I wanted to cut it off, but I'm good all afternoon. But I know a lot of you guys got businesses to run, stuff going on. So anyway, so that is in a nutshell how you would build and create business credit. I would not ever like really suggest anyone do it on their own, because like I didn't figure this out. Like I wish I was that smart and could have. I just played a game. Like I know the rules, but I didn't make them right. So, and I know for me, certain things like it don't pay me to go mow my grass out there when I can pay Josh 110 a week or whatever. Like seriously, like I gotta be in here selling something or whatever, right? So if you guys, here comes your pitch. If you guys don't want to do it on your own, if you think it's like too much to go figure all that out on your own, then like I got the solution for you. So if you're too busy, your time's too valuable, you don't want to mess with it, you want it done professionally, you want it done quickly, you want to fast track it. So we have what we call our 700 Business Suite. Over a decade we've been doing this, and normally we'll go to the next one. But we normally sell it for $4,500, and I do payments on that, right? So I'd say tonight, because when I do these webinars, this is like the offer I make. If anybody wants to buy, wants in, and wants to purchase one, access lifetime, $1,750 is like my webinar price, and typically like 8 or 10 people will sign up. That's the only reason we're able to do it for the price that we do. And that's why I don't do these more often, because I can't sell it at $1,750 just like to one person. Like we got to do 8 or 10 of them or whatever. So for anybody that is ready to pull the trigger, they want to do it, they want to get started from today and through like 5 o'clock through close of business tomorrow, $1,750 if you pay it in full. And again, that's coming down from $4,500. Brittany, do you have the other payment? We also have some payment plans.
Yeah.
So $1,750. The quicker you get it paid for, the cheaper it is. Basically, is where I'm trying to get at. Our normal price is $4,500. We do payments on that. And actually, I said $1,750. We normally do $2,000. We did $1,750 on the last one. I told Brittany just leave it there, and we'll do it. But ignore the tonight's price. If you pay it in full, then it'd be $1,750. If you need to split it into 2 payments, then it would be a little bit more. It'd be $1,100 down and 1,130 days. You get instant access. It's not like we wait for the second payment. So once you put your 1,100 down, you'd get your username, pass, and your login credentials and all that stuff. Brittany would get you set up with it and signed up, whatever. There's not much of a sign up process. We just need your name. If you have your business name and EIN and stuff, we'll put that in the system for you. If not, if you haven't got it set up yet, then we don't even need that really, because all we do is give you the username and password, and then you have access to the system. You go in, you do the work at your pace, get your office girl, whatever, to put it in and like enter it at your own pace. So you could do 11 and 11, or if you need to get the payment down a little bit more, we have a 3 payment option. $800 to start. We turn on access, 830 days, 830 days. Or if you need it a little bit less than 700 times 4. So like those are my price points, right? So in full 1750, which that's the way to go, obviously. Or 2 11s, 3 8s, or 4 7s. I personally, I'd either do 1750 or 4 7s. If you're going to do 1100, you might as well do 1750. But the 700 option is a good option too, because it's still a good price at $2,800. Or even the 800 one. I mean, those are still good too. 20, they all are. But if the payment's really the issue or whatever, if you need to keep it down because you're starting your business up and all that stuff, and you can go as low as 700. Also, my credit repair program is $1,500 for an individual on either like our home ownership guarantee, our fast track plan. Like our best plans are $1,500, and anybody who wants to add credit repair on top of the business credit, I would do that for $1,000. We'll do it for $1,000. If we have people that will build business credit because maybe they filed bankruptcy or they had some problems in the past or they had some those stuff, like, well, we all the time get it. But if somebody has like an 80 paydex score and a 720 credit score, it just makes you that much stronger. Your borrowing capacity and ability is 2x, 10x, whatever you want to call it. It's at least 2 times. So if you need whether your score is a 500 or that you want to get to a 7, or you got a 700 that you want to get to an 8, like we'll do credit repair for $1,000. So recap that: 1750 in full, plus 1,000 for credit repair. If you did the credit repair, you wouldn't have to do the credit repair in full. You could just do the business credit in full, and then we could do like, I don't know, we can do two, maybe 3 or 4 payments on the credit repair, but like we'll work that out. Don't even worry about that. So anyway, with that being said, I feel like I've thrown a lot of stuff at you guys here in the last hour and a half, and I'd say I'm a fast talker. That doesn't sound good. I talk fast, so I'm trying to like go slow and go through it as like to where it's making sense, for y'all. So if you have any, we'll go through y'all's questions, but like if I missed something, you didn't understand something, like shoot me a DM. Brittany answers all my DMs. If I don't first, she usually beats me to them. So either one of us will get right back with you and answer any questions, or like if you'd like to talk further, or if you want to talk and like schedule a time to talk in the next day or 2 or whenever, to see if it's a good fit for your business, your company. I mean, I'm happy to do that, because the last thing I want to do is sign somebody up or whatever, have them enter my program, and it's not a good fit, and then want their money back or not be happy, or like I don't need the business that bad. Like I'll do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that person. So if you got any questions or whatever, just like let her know, or if you're ready to go when you get signed up, DM me or her, and just DM me, and or you can DM her directly if you want. But if you're in mine, she'll catch it too. But yeah, just DM one of us, and we're happy to like get you started and get going. You want to do our questions real quick, Britt?
Yeah. So Pat Flanagan asked, is it a problem if your LLC is registered in a different state than you're in?
Your LLC, like for us, for my company, if I had multiple locations, like my LLC is my home base, you know what I'm saying? That's like my corporate office. So, man, that's a good question, because I know like some of our clients will have their LLC in like Nevada or whatever. So yes, you can still do that. I'd need to like get some more information. I don't see why that would be a problem, because you can be registered elsewhere and have your business here. But it may be that we would need to use the registration address as you would probably want to use that address on setting everything up. But like our system would make sure that happened the right way. But I can, Pat, I'll get the for sure exact answer for you. I'll call my CPA or somebody, but I'm pretty sure you can. I just think that like the congruency of the records or the addresses matched, I would think we would want like that address, not your physical, would almost be like your corporate address or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So the state's not the issue, it's the address, but I don't think you can be registered in a different state. I mean, I think that you have to have an address there, but whatever that address is the address you want on the reports. That's the address you want on the bureaus. That's the address you want to use for applications. Like you wouldn't want to use that address and your physical address. Like for us, like Rob and I are going to open a location up in Ohio. Like it would probably just be like a subsidiary of ours or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So like if I was to do it on my own, I certainly would still keep everything in 700's name, my address here, but I could have other locations, no problem. I kind of answered that, but I think that's fine, but I'll, in fact, Brittany, if you'll jot down, I'll check on it and then you can either call, text or whatever and get back with Pat.
So then she said virtual offices with mailing agent services. And so she also said that she just registered for virtual office with Regus and they sent her a PS form 1583 to complete to allow mail services. She wanted to know if this mail through agent service would suffice as a good physical address for a business.
Say that last part.
She wanted to know if the mail through agent service would suffice as a good physical address for a business.
If you're getting it through the place that we recommend that you get it, then yes, absolutely. So like she lives at home, but we'll use a virtual address for her to build her business credit with. Yeah, but Kelly, when you do that, like you're going to use that address for everything. You're going to use that address like on your checking account. When you this is almost the same as what Pat's question was too, you know what I'm saying? So like, so that address has to be used everywhere, and any mail or anything that gets sent there, I guess they have different levels and stuff. Like some of them will answer the phone for you, some like there's different, you know, levels to what they'll do. So you would need to make sure, like, you know, get set up where they forward the mail back to you or whatever, because if that's where your checks are going to go for your company. And I think that actually what they do, and I've never had to do that, but I think they may actually forward the mail to you, you know. So, but yes, if they're in our system, then that's perfectly accept. That's good.
Okay. I believe that is all of the questions. Yeah.
It showed there was like 8.
Yeah, but some of them are just like,
Comments. All right, cool.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So if you guys have any, they were just, you need to, we got to get you on board on this for sure. I need to talk to you about some other stuff anyway too, but like, you're like in the same area of business as me, and there's just a lot of stuff out there like you, with what you do, like you fit the mold for this also. I'll tell you who else fits the mold for this awesome. I always think car guys, because we've told a lot of car dealers this program for floor planning sources and stuff. So car dealerships are good, roofing companies, contractors, whatever, are great, because as you're building business credit, like you're getting Home Depot accounts, you're getting Lowe's accounts, you're getting like flooring accounts that you can actually use and like benefit from. But then plus like the liability aspect of it. We do a lot of truck drivers, we do a lot of solar guys, we do a lot of roofing contractors, AC, especially whenever there's like a fleet of vehicles needed and stuff like that, like, or wraps. And when you think about it, you open up an electric company, you got to buy 5 vans and wrap them. That's a ton of money, you know? So like those types of industries they fit very, very well. What's everybody do that's on our call? I know a lot of y'all.
What about real estate investing and flipping homes?
So Chris, there actually, and I didn't even like bring this part up. So yes, like you could, I'm getting ready to do that in the name of the company as well, but like you could certainly like apply at any local bank or whatever, finance source, whatever. But so in our system, if you were to go with our deal, in our system, there are like 2,100 other banks, lenders, finance options, and there's a house flipping program in our business suite to where, regardless of personal credit, as long as it's 60% of I think you have to have a 580 credit score is actually the score, but they'll give you up to 60% of the appraisal plus 100% of the refurb, and their refurb is real lax too, because you basically just say, hey, it's going to take like 80 grand to fix it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So they'll go on house flipping and you could even do investing and then flip and then turn it into a long-term note, but like they'll do 60% of the appraisal, and usually like the terms are like they may set it up like on a 36-month balloon. It's not like, and then it's usually interest only. So like, it's not like a conventional mortgage. They're going to give you 60% and finance it for 30 years or whatever. They'll do like a interest only balloon for 18 months, 3 months, whatever. And if the house doesn't sell, then they would like renew it or whatever. But it's not necessarily like hard money lending where it's, you know, a $10,000 fee and they want $2,500 for this plus 18%. It's not at all like that. It's a finance source. So yes, house flipping, absolutely. But not only in investing, really, it would even be better. House flipping is cool, but like through this, investing or building a portfolio, because there are lenders that once you build business credit, especially you and your real estate deal, like you could buy houses on 30-year notes and have a $1,600 payment that you're either owner financing for $2,200 a month, or you're renting out for $1,800 a month or whatever. So there's some investment. There are some investment banks or whatever, and then there are some more like portfolio stuff, which is like more long term. Like a 36 balloon isn't going to help. It will float money, but like if you're trying to keep it for long term, for like when you retire and then you're going to leave 10 houses to your kids or whatever, like then there's that. But then there's also just a quick, like almost like hard money lenders where it's interest only, and like a 6-month balloon, a 12-month balloon, an 18-month balloon, or just depending on the house, the area, and how fast you think you can flip it. So both are in our system. But there's other lenders that will jump all over an 80 paydex score with somebody who has like 10 or 15 or 20 accounts. Also, if you're doing that, like knowing you probably do a lot of it yourself, and I sub all my stuff myself too. So if I was to like start doing one right now, flipping a house, I could, you know, Home Depot would come in handy as I'm building my business credit, like the Home Depot, Lowe's, I mean, like Tractor Supply, I can't remember all of them, but like there's a lot of the flooring companies or whatever. There's a lot of good companies in there that you could actually like get your materials, get your refurb stuff or whatever, and you know, then once you sell the house or once the flip's sold, then pay that stuff off or whatever. So like there's a lot of other creative ways in there too. Plus then all those banks in there, like the various banks in there, like all those banks are $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 cards. And if they're in there, they're begging to give people money. They're just looking for somebody who they can give it to that they think they're going to get it back from. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give somebody with a 60 paydex score, or like they'd rather give you a million with an 80 and with all the strengths, opposed to giving 100 people 10,000 or whatever that number would come out to. You know what I'm saying? So the banks that are not only in our system but in general, as you're building it, as you're increasing your store and adding accounts and stuff, like business credit lenders are trying to get rid of money. That's what they do. And as opposed to a lender looking at a consumer credit application, and you being in the car business, that's like, you know how lenders look like. They look at an application and look why they shouldn't approve it. Like I'm looking at why I should turn you down. And business credit's not like that. If you meet the fundability and credibility, like you pass that test, you're good to go. Like they're not looking for reasons to, like, how's he gonna, he filed bankruptcy 8 years ago. That means he can file again. Like he's gonna screw me. Like that's how they think. Business lenders aren't like that. It's a totally different mindset.
So Crystal asked, what about the cannabis industry? I know times are changing and there are now at least 22 lenders in 27 states. Will any of this be an option for those who deal in the devil's lettuce?
The devil's lettuce. As far as like a lender or somebody that bounces in there and says like, hey, we're looking for cannabis, that I don't know. I also looked at that industry and did a lot of homework on it. And it's no, that industry would fall kind of like in my tier with credit repair. It's so the banks can do whatever they want, loan to whoever they want to. It's all like how strong are they? So I think a lot of the cannabis industry has been because of the age of it, I mean, like in Texas, you couldn't have one because it's not legal. So like it's all new companies, it's all new business. And I think all that's being sorted out, and there are more and more. I got a friend who's a big time processor, and like now, like he's a business now. He's no longer a processor, and it's kind of like us. Like we're not a credit repair company; we're a business. So yes, again, the credibility, fundability, and doing and even starting out, like getting $20,000 or $30,000 like credit cards may be better as opposed to like in the cannabis industry, you need lights or a building or whatever like that. They really don't even ask what the money's for. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't necessarily go set my business credit up under that. I'd set it up under something else. And you know what I'm saying? But it's out. Yes, it's out there. It's available. It's just it's how strong are you on paper? That's the bottom line.
Okay, and then Pat Flanagan said also with cannabis, I've heard some banks say we have to go by federal rules. So even if it's legal in this state, we can't do anything with it.
On the banking side of it, that I don't know. I'm not really say that again, Brittany. I'm not understanding that.
So he said that he heard that some banks say that we have to go by federal rules. So even if it's legal in this state, we can't do anything with it. He said,
and that may very well be the case if that's like a bank rule. But I know this. I know that whenever I was looking at it, I know that like I was looking at some retail stores and they had true merchant accounts. They had true business account. Like they were doing business with banks, not an offshore account that says I'm selling Hot Wheels cars or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like that was my big thing. Like their POS systems and everything was all like legit straight up. Because I was doing it for the money, for the like the business part of it. And I ended up like that's just not for me, just for a number of reasons. But one, it's not legal in this state. I don't want to go out to Oklahoma every day, like go check on my stores. But like I know that the companies that I was involved with, and I've got some friends that have my attorney, his the guy he went to college from is the processor I'm talking about. Like they take credit cards and take a sack of money at the bank and put it in their underneath their business name and the rock and roll. But I can totally see how some banks probably like I would think that's more of a bank rule, because a bank can do whatever the hell they want to do. They can give money to whoever they want to. If I own a cannabis store and they want to do business with me, they could just give it to me like personally or through a different company or whatever. Seriously, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's like against the law for a bank to lend it. I think that's more of a banking rule or whatever. But you know, and again, it's because of the stigma of the industry. Porn industries like that. What other industries, Brittany? Credit repair, escort services. I don't know if it's any of that. No, seriously, like I'm in that group, cannabis industry. We're like in that tier. But again, it's not as bad as it was. Crystal, but it's not as bad as what it was like 10 years ago when we started. Like back then, like you said, the word credit repair, like people look at you like, I don't know, you know, it is not like that anymore. But again, we're in a different day and age, and I think the cannabis industry or the weed industry, let's just call it what it is. I think it's following suit. I am glad you showed up. I am glad you showed up. Are you not on that devil's lettuce now, or are you? I'm waiting for it. Never mind. Don't answer that. So anyway, y'all, I hope you guys found that informative. What time is it? I think it's been probably close. Yeah, we're like 3:45. So if y'all don't have any other questions, or if you have any other questions, like, you hit us right now, or just shoot us a DM.
Oh yeah, let me put my contact information. I'll put my contact information in the
Got
chat.
Pat. And Pat's asking about a recording would be nice. So as soon as we get done, we had some issues on the front of this, like Brittany's internet was going out or whatever. We both logged in and logged out and stuff. So the first, I think we got the first couple. You're welcome, Angie. Thank you so much for joining us, and I enjoy your posts and stuff too on Facebook. I love seeing y'all stuff. I feel like I know all of y'all. So yeah, shoot us a message. We'll shoot you over the recording. You may have to fast forward it. I'm not sure if Brittany's going to go edit it or not. It's a pain in the ass. We have to do that. She'll probably just shoot y'all the link, and y'all can just zip up on it and fast forward through it. But it'll be me and her, like her panicking. I didn't panic yet because I knew she'd fix it, but it'll just be.
I was panicking.
And saying, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? So anyway.
But, okay.
Is that your extension 103?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that's my extension, and then my email, and then yeah, y'all can always send me a message on Facebook. I'm pretty sure I sent all of y'all, everybody that's in here, a message with the link, so you should already have it.
Thank you.
And then yeah, so either DM either one of us, or you can call me or email me.
Yep, sounds good. So let us know if we can help. And if you want our help, like signing up with us, cool. But even I'm talking about if you have questions and just need like some help building some of them, I don't mind giving you like some names or whatever. Like I'm just saying for $17.50, like just let us do it, because it's way simpler through this process. But if you're going to do it yourself, you have questions, man, like we're right here. Just give us a shot and we'll help you out.
All right.
All right. So with that being said, we'll wrap it up, and she'll send you guys over the recording. You're welcome, Joel. Thank you for joining us. She'll just, I guess, are you going to send everybody one, or do you want them to ask you if they want one, I guess? So it's
I generally send everybody that registered the recording, and then, we'll probably,
okay, cool.
I have a list of other people that weren't able to attend, but yeah, I'll send everybody the link to the recording.
All right, cool. And she'll email it to you. That's why we do the registration through there. But so instead of DMing it or whatever, she'll just email it back to you, because it's going to be an hour and a half or whatever. So anyway, y'all take it easy, and thanks for your time. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
I'll hold you later.
Okay.